April 3rd, 2013. The Washington Capitals made a trade that would haunt them for over a decade. They sent a 22-year-old prospect named Filip Forsberg to the Nashville Predators for a 31-year-old winger named Martin Erat. Nashville got a franchise cornerstone who would score 319 goals and 684 points, and counting, over his career, lead them to the Stanley Cup Finals, and become one of the most dangerous forwards in hockey. Washington got 1 goal in 53 games and a cascade of panic moves that cost them a Vezina Trophy-winning goaltender. This is the story of the worst trade in Washington Capitals history, and how Nashville's patience destroyed Washington's desperation. It's April 2013. The Washington Capitals are desperate. Alex Ovechkin is 27, Nicklas Backstrom is 25, and they haven't won a cup. 5 straight first or second round exits. GM George McPhee needs scoring depth. Enter Martin Erat. Erat was a 31-year-old Czech winger playing for the Nashville Predators. He spent 11 seasons with the Nashville Predators, where he was a consistent 50 to 60 point player. In 2011-12, Erat had 58 points in 71 games for Nashville. He was reliable, experienced, and had playoff pedigree. On paper, he looked like the perfect complementary piece for Ovechkin and Backstrom. Washington saw an opportunity, a proven scorer, a playoff performer, a veteran presence, but there was a cost. Filip Forsberg was a 19-year-old Swedish forward drafted 11th overall by Washington in the 2012 NHL Draft, just 1 year earlier. He was playing in Sweden's top league, the SHL, and putting up impressive numbers for a teenager. Scouts loved his shot, his hockey IQ, and his two-way game. But he was raw, he was young, he was unproven at the NHL level. Washington had a choice: be patient with a teenage prospect or trade him for a proven veteran who could help them win now. George McPhee chose the veteran. On April 3rd, 2013, the Washington Capitals traded Filip Forsberg to the Nashville Predators in exchange for Martin Erat and Michael Latta. Forsberg wasn't NHL ready yet. He was 19 years old, playing in Sweden's top league. Nashville could have rushed him. They didn't. In 2013-14, Forsberg played 75 games for the Milwaukee Admirals, Nashville's AHL affiliate. He dominated grown men as a teenager, recording 26 goals and 63 points. He was ready. But Washington's nightmare was just beginning. Because while Forsberg was tearing up the AHL, the Capitals were about to make an even worse decision that would haunt them for over a decade. Filip Forsberg's NHL debut in 2014-15, 26 goals, 63 points as a 20-year-old rookie. The next season, 33 goals, 64 points. By his third season, he was leading Nashville to the Stanley Cup Finals. In 2016-17, Filip Forsberg led Nashville on an improbable run to the Stanley Cup Finals. Nashville lost to Pittsburgh in 6 games, but Forsberg had 16 points in 22 playoff games. He was 22 years old, and he was just getting started. As of the 2025-26 season, Filip Forsberg has been everything Nashville could have hoped for. 786 regular season games, 319 goals, 365 assists, 684 points, 81 playoff games, 31 goals, 28 assists, 59 points, multiple All-Star appearances. A franchise cornerstone who's still producing at an elite level, Nashville showed patience. They let him develop, they gave him time, and they got a superstar. Now here's where it gets painful for Washington fans. If you're enjoying this breakdown, smash that like button and drop a comment telling me, what's the worst trade your team ever made? Let's compare disasters. We'll start off with Michael Latta, a 2009 third-round pick, played 113 games for Washington from 2013 to 2016, scoring 17 points. He added grit, but not the impact they needed. Martin Erat arrived with 9 games left in the 2012 to 2013 season, recording 3 points. In the playoffs against the Rangers, he played 4 games with 0 points. Washington lost in 7 games, but they weren't panicking yet. Next season would be different. The 2013-14 season was supposed to be Martin Erat's redemption. a full training camp, a full season, time to build chemistry with Ovechkin and Backstrom. Instead, it became a nightmare. Erat played 53 games for Washington in 2013-14. He scored 1 goal, 23 assists, and 24 points. 1 goal in 53 games. For context, Forsberg, the prospect Washington gave up, was tearing up the AHL with the Milwaukee Admirals, Nashville's affiliate. And in 13 NHL games with Nashville, he had 1 goal and 5 points. He was dominating grown men as a 19-year-old. Meanwhile, Erat was invisible in Washington. He wasn't producing, he wasn't fitting the system. Coach Adam Oates reportedly clashed with him over playing style and effort. On March 4th, 2014, 11 months after acquiring him, Washington traded Martin Erat with John Mitchell to the Phoenix Coyotes for defenseman Rostislav Klesla, forward Chris Brown, and a 2015 fourth-round pick. Washington gave up Filip Forsberg for Martin Erat. Then, they gave up Martin Erat for a depth defenseman and forward, and a fourth-round pick. The disaster was complete, but it was about to get worse. The Erat trade didn't just cost Washington Filip Forsberg, it triggered a cascade of panic moves that defined their organizational philosophy for years. In 2015, still reeling from the Erat disaster, Washington traded the 2015 fourth-round pick, along with Jack Hillen to Carolina, to acquire defenseman Tim Gleason in another attempt to add veteran depth. Gleason played 17 games in the 2014-15 regular season, recording 0 goals, 2 assists, and 2 points. He added 14 playoff games with 0 goals and 1 assist. Another veteran, another minimal return, another short-term fix that went nowhere. Chris Brown played 12 games for Washington before being traded to the Rangers for Ryan Bourque in 2016. Bourque never played a single NHL game for Washington. 0 impact. And then Washington made a mistake that still haunts them today, passing on a goalie who'd become one of the best in the world. A goalie who just signed a $92 million contract. Washington flipped Klesla and Michael Neuwirth to Buffalo for Yaroslav Halak and a 2015 third-round pick, then traded Halak to the Islanders for a fourth-round pick after just 12 games. This is where this trade tree goes from bad to ugly for Washington. Now, with Brian McClellan as GM, Washington moved up in the 2014 draft, trading a fourth-round, 118th overall, and another fourth-round pick, 104th overall, to the New York Rangers for a third-round pick, 89th overall. With the 89th pick, Washington selected Australian forward Nathan Walker, another attempt to replace what they'd lost. Walker played 7 games for Washington with 1 point, then was gone. He'd have a 234-game NHL career with 58 points across multiple teams, just not in Washington. That same year draft, just 1 year after trading Forsberg, Washington had a chance to draft a goalie in the 4th round named Igor Shesterkin. They passed. The Rangers took Shesterkin with the 118th pick. That same draft, Washington had the 118th pick, the exact pick they traded to the Rangers. Igor Shesterkin was available. But after the Erat disaster, Washington's philosophy shifted. Prioritize immediate help over patience. They'd been burned by a prospect. They weren't risking it again. They passed on Shesterkin and drafted Nathan Walker. Shesterkin won the 2021-22 Vezina Trophy and signed an 8-year, $92 million contract. He's one of the best goalies in the world, and Washington could have had him if they'd shown the same patience Nashville showed with Forsberg. Instead, they got 7 games from Nathan Walker and watched Shesterkin become a franchise goalie for their division rival. But the pattern didn't stop there. 6 years after trading Forsberg, Washington did it again, developing another elite prospect for years, only to give him away the moment he was ready. This time, it was a top 4 defenseman. At the 2015 draft, Washington packaged the 3rd round pick from the Klesla to Buffalo trade, 62nd overall, and a 4th round pick, 113th overall, to move up to 57th overall, selecting Swiss defenseman Jonas Siegenthaler. Washington developed him properly at first, Switzerland in 2015-16, then Hershey. He played 108 games for Washington from 2018 to 2020, recording 3 goals and 12 points. Solid defensively, but not producing offense. When his playing time dropped to just 7 games in 2020-21, Washington's patience ran out. On April 12, 2021, they traded the 23-year-old Siegenthaler to New Jersey for a 2021 conditional third-round pick, which they flipped to the Rangers for picks, 81st and 176th. Those picks became Brent Johnson and Drew Krebs, 0 NHL games between them. Meanwhile, Siegenthaler became New Jersey's top 4 shutdown defenseman, playing 275-plus games and averaging over 21 minutes per night. Washington spent 6 years developing him, then gave him away for prospects who never made the NHL. The same impatience that cost them Forsberg cost them Siegenthaler. So let's recap Washington's return for Filip Forsberg. The total production from all players acquired was 313 games, 11 goals, 63 points. While for Nashville, Filip Forsberg's career stats are 786 games, 319 goals, 684 points, plus 81 playoff games, 31 goals, 59 points. The math isn't even close. In 2018, the Washington Capitals finally won the Stanley Cup. Alex Ovechkin lifted the trophy, but they could have become a dynasty with the pieces they traded away. Nashville showed patience. They let Forsberg develop. They trusted the process. Washington showed desperation. They chased immediate help. They traded the future for the present. This is the Martin Erat for Filip Forsberg trade, the worst trade in Washington Capitals history, and one of the greatest heists in Nashville Predators history. If you made it this far, you're a true hockey fan. Drop a comment and tell me, what's the worst trade your team ever made? Is it worse than this one? And if you want more deep dives into the trades that changed NHL history, the disasters, the heists, the forgotten deals that shaped franchises, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We drop a new video every week breaking down the most iconic and obscure trades in hockey. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.